there cruise. Yeah.
My mom just told me that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was like, that's.
Well, my client was going to
I don't
Hawaii,
know.
and she just canceled hers.
Yeah. See, I was like, looking. I've been trying to book flights.
But look, it's
I'm
gonna
like
be, you're going to be able to
$120
get so many good flights.
$350 to Hawaii.
I know.
Sign me up.
That's where she was
that's-
going. And one of the
I know, I've been
ladies
trying
is
to book
from
flights.
Jersey, so that's why they can't. It was a group
Yeah.
of them that were going, so
wow.
that's why they canceled it.
No, I've been trying to book flights.
Well, I'm still going to St. Thomas. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do it.
St. Thomas will be fine.
What do you mean you're trying? First you said you were paranoid.
I am paranoid, but I feel like I want to go the places that I wouldn't normally go, and like where I want to go is like naturey and like you know what I mean. Like I want to go to like the Grand
Naturey.
Canyon and see some of the things out there. There's no coronavirus out there.
Oh.
You know what I
that's
mean?
a good point.
I'm not going to be around people.
How
I'm
do
not
you-
going to like.
Yeah.
But how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
How
find
do
out.
you
They
know?
showed the news yesterday, and they were showing in New Jersey how you had to stand like so many.
Oh,
behind
yeah.
the people.
3
So the
feet.
grocery
We're
store.
actually too close
I
to
know.
each
Get
other.
away. No, did you see the grocery
We're
store
sharing all
with the
kinds of
lines?
fluids on
I
this
know,
show,
we
so-
Yeah, that was something. They had lines on the
But
floor.
Jackie drinks enough wine that
right.
it's
It's all
killed.
dead.
It's all dead.
Everything's dead.
She's killed it for all of us.
Nothing's floating around here. See?
Alcohol is a good good cleaner.
Right.
I'm gonna have to start
Yeah.
drinking. Is that what you're telling
See?
me?
That's what I'm
It's a
telling you.
disinfectant.
All you healthy people out there, Rocky.
Listen, I'm well aware of the situation. I know I will be the first to go. It's fine. I've accepted it.
Shut up.
Don't say that.
She is terrible.
I stand no chance.
You
okay?
are terrible.
Listen, I'm just realistic about the situation. Like, if there was ever an apocalypse of any sort, I know I would be the first one
my
out. Like, I
gosh.
wouldn't even fight. I'd be like, it's
No,
fine.
no,
Take me
you're
now.
really-
Like,
The Wall. Wait. Every Wallace would be the
minutes.
first one out because they'd be Wallace.
We're ready. Just roll it.
Okay, did everyone turn off their phones?
Did you?
Rocky?
I took care of yours for
She
you.
turned yours off for you.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch it. No.
A perfect stranger. He's got a bullet with your name in the chamber. I'm body organ.
Stop.
You
Stuart.
You feel my
Do I need to separate you? I don't know this far over.
We do want to be separated. No, I love her,
I
even
know.
though she
loves
might
me.
have the disease.
I know.
Still love
I want
her.
you both in quarantine. Okay? I'll go in that room. You stay out.
Oh, we should. Oh my God, we should have put cellophane on. Saturday
Come in
Night
and-
Live, they did it on
come in
It
in
was
hazmat
hilarious.
suits.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Don't say that. We might be doing that next week. Like, you don't know.
In hazmat suits.
You don't know.
How about garbage bags?
I know. Nora and Gina too.
Yeah.
From the PodcastDetroit studios in
What'd you call it?
Rockin' Royal, Michigan.
Biatch.
PodcastDetroit.com.
Is that French?
Yeah.
That's it.
I learned that when I was in France.
Oh, boy.
This person said, you biatch.
You thought it was like,
Biatch.
Yeah.
You
I said,
biatch.
oh,
like, yeah, I know.
All right.
Happy hump day.
Hey.
Wednesday.
all day is Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so should she tell us about all the really good dessert right
We
now?
got
Or
treats in here from Chris
Yes.
Where's the
Oh,
bell?
my gosh.
Look at that.
Amazing.
All right. Part of these, there's 2 food days today. First is the National Johnny Appleseed Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have, is that the apple Danish?
That's
that
my
you brought
apple
for us?
Danish.
he's
yeah,
my
Is
that's
that
cousin.
the apple one that you're
Yes.
eating? Or?
He's my cousin.
She's been biting out of it and putting it back,
I know.
trying to give us all the coronavirus. Shame on you.
Did you wash your hands? Johnny Appleseed. He was
We're all
born
family
John Chapman. And he's legendary for his kind words, his kindness in planting apples and pears. I did not know,
Oh,
but
wow, how
apples and
nice.
pears.
He was kind to us.
He was very kind. Yep, he was. And
I
he
thought
also
that was the myth. Is that a real
No,
person?
It's a real person. We learned about him in school.
I remember
I know,
like
but I didn't
coloring
think that was
pictures
real.
of apple
Yeah,
trees
right.
on
Yeah.
Johnny Appleseed.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the reason for the apple Danish.
Thank you.
We also have an
And
apple.
I just had an apple in my bag.
She happened to have an apple in her bag.
Oh,
Wow.
so
And
would
the-
you put that out there to share?
The other
Take a bite.
I was going to say, where you take a bite and pass. Is that like a joint or is that different? Like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just waiting.
I know. Sorry, teacher.
You know, it's my teacher training that
I
just
know.
allows me to be patient
I
with you
know.
naughty girls. Anyway, the other national day is National Oatmeal Nut Waffle Day. So to represent, I have an
wow.
oatmeal and a peanut butter cookie there.
Why didn't you make a waffle?
Have you seen my
Never
kitchen?
happy. Didn't you get the video?
This is so good.
Here.
I need to put this mask on over
Here
here.
you go. So
Yeah,
you're
just sit it in front of me.
There we
That
go.
does look good.
Yeah, I'm not on a diet. I don't
So
care.
that is apple, right?
It's
That's apple.
There's no peach or anything in that because I'm
There's no-
highly allergic.
Yeah,
to
she's
peach.
allergic to peach.
Okay.
Okay, there's no peach. It's all apple. There are 2 apple, and then there's a peanut butter and an oatmeal
nugget.
cookie
Awesome.
Oh my God, it's so
to
good.
celebrate. The
Oh
day.
my God, it's so good.
It's also National Promposal Day.
What?
What?
Where you get asked to go to the prom?
That
Get
is the
asked to
most
go there.
ridiculous thing I've ever
Apparently
heard.
now in the
They have a
youth,
day.
They have they don't just say, "Hey, do you want to go to prom?"
Oh yeah,
Oh
they make
no!
it big.
They
now
make it
it's ridiculous.
They're very extravagant.
Oh
So
my God!
not will you go to prom with me? It's some
Here's
You know,
Creative.
I don't miss those. Do you
Oh
miss?
my
Do you miss
God.
that?
Do you
I
miss those days?
No. I'm so glad.
Hell
my
no.
Not even a little.
You know, when I went to, I was so
Didn't
excited
we
to
go
go
to
to the
prom
prom.
together?
I think
At
we
one
were dates
point.
one.
Oh boy!
No, I was so excited to go to the prom, and then afterwards we went to the next day we went to Cedar Point.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what we did.
it was so funny because the guy I went to the prom with, he got mad at me because I wouldn't have sex with him.
Oh jeez!
So when we were at Cedar Point, he just kind of ignored me. And I was like, I don't
Oh,
care.
that
I was
worked out
eating
well.
stuff and buying stuff. I was like, I don't care.
that worked out well.
Oh,
So,
I'm so
this
glad.
is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
If you want to go to prom and go to Cedar Point, you don't have to sleep with the guy. So
Oh,
why-
that's good.
Why did we
good.
miss
Out
out
there.
on Cedar Point?
I was like, we didn't do that. Not at all. I'd probably rather have gone to Cedar Point. Yeah. Fuck that.
So national holidays today, and look at
There's a
Gina. You're the first one that actually brought something in.
that's
I
not
think.
true. I
Why?
bought pound cake last week. It was pound cake.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it was very good.
was
Chocolate.
delicious.
You
That
did
was the
eat
first
some?
time I
Okay.
did. I was
Which
the only one.
wait a minute.
Did
Back the truck up.
The truck. Beep beep beep. Okay.
You brought pound cake. Don't be taking credit for my hard work. You just happened to bring pound cake. It wasn't like you planned it.
for the national holiday.
We're like this.
We
Gina.
are like this because you brought an apple. So
That's
okay.
right.
I give you
Thank
kisses.
over here 'cause
I
it's
give you
dark.
kisses.
Yeah, it looks good, don't it?
It does.
That's all right. Don't eat it.
Okay,
I'll
so
take it.
Rocky. Well, thank you.
Thank
Gina.
you, Gina,
welcome.
for
Thank
all
you,
the
Gina,
goodies.
for
So
your-
Rocky,
yes.
what?
I have a confession to make.
Yeah. So I heard what's going on.
It is 12:06 on a Wednesday.
Wait, what?
It's 12:06, right?
Dun, dun, dun.
Right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And my confession is it has officially been 24 hours since I've showered.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
Hey,
Hey,
and so I'm
you're-
going to move over
Yes.
here.
I felt like I, smelled something.
yeah. So listen, okay. So
Did you not hear anything about the whole hygiene thing?
I was going to
Yeah.
say,
Have
did
you
you
washed your
listen,
hands?
have you
I
washed
washed
your
my
hands?
hands.
Okay.
Okay. This will happen. Okay. So I got up this morning before my alarm, which never happened. So I thought, oh my God, it's gonna be a great day. Got up, did a little bit of yoga, got dressed, headed to the gym. I'm driving and all of a sudden I hear what, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm
Tired.
like, my car's old, it's fine. I just
What
keep
was
driving.
that noise again?
Very good.
Yeah, anytime,
like a
anytime.
DJ.
Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, this is getting a little too obnoxious. So I pulled over and I thought maybe just something was loose and I've got a couple tools in my car or whatever. I was like, I'll just tighten up whatever's loose and then I'm be on my way, you know? And so I go over there and my whole tire's like shredded. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've been driving on this for a minute.
Yeah.
So
You just got
When she-
yes, I just got new tires.
But when you said the womp, womp, womp,
Womp,
when
womp,
she-
womp,
when she-
womp, womp,
I
womp.
knew it was shredded.
yeah, well, I didn't know. I'm like, my car makes it's like singing to me all the time. So I just
So
thought it
what
was like
happened?
So, well, I pull over and I'm like, I literally thought it was going to be a quick fix and I would just tighten it up and then go, you know. So I had to send for help and I sat there. And I will say, I don't know what it's like in the city, but like so many people stopped. I mean, there's only like
Yeah.
5 people
Yeah.
in that location, but like all 5 people
Yeah.
stopped to make sure I was
so
okay.
it also has something to do that you're really cute.
Well, they don't know. First of all, look at me.
if you were wearing the cheer bow at the
I
same
wasn't wearing the
time.
cheer bow, but I was wearing this exact outfit. I mean, I look like a
You're
like a
so
boy.
cute.
You're
Aw,
yeah,
thanks.
you're
But
so
you are
cute.
cute.
But I got rear-ended last Wednesday,
Oh my
and nobody
goodness.
stopped. Okay, not even the person that rear-ended me.
Okay, see, that's some city stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
But,
Right.
You're right.
But I'm not kidding you. Everybody was like stopping and coming up. Are you okay? Are you have help coming? I'm like, yeah.
I
someone's
thought
coming.
somebody would
Oh.
do that. But
Yeah, that's
no.
crazy.
So would you
though.
get a new tire or what?
Well, that's the other thing too. I'm like, I don't know how to change a tire, and I don't know what to do. So I sent for help, and then they fixed it, and it was fine. So
What was wrong with it?
It's
I don't know.
shredded.
It just
It's
like
shredded.
they,
Yeah.
it just like I don't know if I hit something or
Yeah,
like
you could have hit.
Yeah,
I
like-
mean, is the same tire back on your car? Is what I
no,
mean.
it's
no,
shredded,
Oh,
Jackie.
yeah,
Shredded.
it's shredded.
Did all that today?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
And you still made it on time?
That's why I couldn't shower. I like
proud
got
of
back,
you.
and I was like
That's
finally
great.
got home, and I was like I
Wow.
didn't want to be late because I was so excited about our
I
guest
know.
today.
Okay, now
So
I
I was like, I like stood there and I was like, I can't. And
We're so proud of
I was
you.
like, I can't
Thank
let
you,
this
Jackie.
water. I can't even wait for this to heat up. I like, you know,
This
grabbed
story-
a coffee
this story
and then
made
I
me
left.
hot.
That story made her hot.
She's flashing over here.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Power surge.
but I'm not gonna let the minor
Okay.
setback ruin my
No,
day.
right, don't let
so
it-
I was
don't
like,
let
It's
it.
already over. That's
But I was like,
great.
I had intent to go to the gym, so I feel like I got the fitness vibe, so I can be fine for today. Like, I don't need
yeah,
to
did.
for
work out at all,
sure.
so,
You did.
even though I
Good for
sat in my
you.
car well.
It's all right.
glad you're
My
good.
tires
Stuff out
didn't
that
change.
counts.
Yeah,
It
so,
is. You get credit for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You do.
Yep.
You get credit.
I get-
It's, you get credit
Like
for
eating.
thinking
So
about
I can
going
eat that
to the
cookie.
gym.
It'll be fine. It'll cancel out.
right.
It's like eating food off somebody else's plate.
It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
the
count.
calories don't
No.
count.
There's
No.
all types of,
Rule bending and
Yeah.
loopholes when it comes to health. Yes,
If
absolutely.
you stand up and eat, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
it's not a real meal.
It's not a real meal. No.
no.
I don't like to stand up and eat.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't.
You know, I'm a
feel the
mom. I
best.
don't like to see anybody stand up and eat.
Well, you're a hairdresser, so you
And I'm a
you
mom, too, so-
Stand up and eat all
Yeah,
the
I
time.
do, but I don't like to see anybody else do it.
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Anyway,
Anywho,
anywho.
so I have something really, really, really important to tell you guys.
This is a day of revelations. I can't handle this. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Give me the
Star
facts.
Trek.
Star Trek.
William Shatner,
Okay.
Captain Kirk.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got divorced for the 4th time.
Oh. Okay.
They had been married for like 18 years. I thought it was like,
Wow.
they had been married. But
Yeah.
they had a prenup, and he's going to
Alla,
keep.
we want prenup.
Right.
We want-
So he's going to keep like all his Star Trek. So it's like $100 million, because they had the prenup.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Wow.
now they raise horses and stuff. So he's going to get, in the divorce, he gets the semen, the horse's semen.
Excuse me.
What?
What?
So she got the horse?
And she gets, I guess they split some horses or something. I don't know about, I know she has horses too, but they were breeding horses, I guess. And so he gets the semen. So
That wasn't a prenup?
yeah.
What?
Oh my
That is the weirdest thing I've ever
I
heard.
really thought of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'm like, if you're breeding horses, you probably put it in there. you
Well,
know?
what about people that are breeding kids? What do you do about that?
Well,
I don't think anyone's out there breeding children. Like, let's not hope. Let's hope that that's not happening.
that's
know.
morbid.
Yeah.
Well, they're breeding the horses to make money for them. So would you breed the kids to make money for you?
I know some people that.
Okay.
No.
I just thought that was interesting.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
But who thinks, well, if we get divorced,
Yeah.
who's going to get the semen?
A person with
Right.
$100 million to lose. So I
Wow.
guess,
Gosh,
you
no
know,
kidding.
That is crazy.
Yep.
That
so
really is.
It is crazy. But
That,
I mean,
that could change everything for the prenup game. I mean, if you think about it,
True.
seriously.
but see, that's just one thing that we know about. It's
Right.
probably a bunch of crazy stuff out
Right.
There
there.
probably
Wow.
is because
Right.
Yeah.
in Michigan there's no prenup.
There
right.
isn't?
No.
There's legally no prenup in Michigan.
Right.
What?
Nope.
I did not know
I
that.
knew that.
What a place to live.
Yeah.
Wait,
Changing
so
my tune about this
somebody,
day a little bit.
Wait, what do you mean there's no prenup? If
It's-
somebody wants a prenup, they can do one.
Not in Michigan.
But
They're not
even if
le-
they
it's not
did it,
legal.
it's not. It wouldn't hold
It
up
wouldn't
in court.
hold up.
Really?
Wow, I did not know that.
See, Gina
Oh
knows
my
because she was trying to get a
gosh.
prenup.
Gina knows all the laws.
A girl's got to be informed.
Because she has to protect all those riches. I'm telling you.
I didn't have anything.
Wow,
Oh
I
my
didn't
gosh,
know that.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, well.
Interesting.
So I found a
Very
sugar daddy in
yeah.
Michigan.
Don't get married in Michigan. That's the lesson you learned.
Got it.
Wait a minute. Don't get.
Yeah, don't
Don't
you
get
want
married
Oh,
in
yeah,
Michigan
yeah.
because the prenup won't be good. So go somewhere
No,
like
we're gonna go. We're gonna get on seeking arrangements, lock down some old rich dude.
If you
and then,
have money,
Take
you
one for the
wouldn't get
team.
married.
Yeah.
No, but if
got
you
you.
have money, you wouldn't get married in Michigan. If you don't have money, why wouldn't you?
Right, you
do
would
it?
want to get
Because-
married
wanna
in
get
Michigan, then you
married
get
in
half,
Michigan.
right? Isn't that
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
point?
so you're gonna leave with half.
Yeah.
I mean, here that
Right, if that's
Yeah.
the case.
I know the
But
song.
but if you had a prenup and you said if he had a prenup and you would be entitled, like you at least knew what you were going to get. Like if we
Yeah,
divorced,
but if there isn't a prenup, you automatically get half.
Half.
allegedly, how does
No, you get half.
Nora can tell you.
How many times, Nora?
Sometimes you.
it's fuzzy math, you know? It's like Italian style math. It's like, oh, the numbers are all different.
They're all over.
There's letters in there. I don't know.
I know she's
That was
funny because
good.
she's told me some stories, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, oh yeah, so and so's got to make a deposit in my account. I'm like, what?
Well,
It is
you know.
something
That's gonna
to-
be
we can
another
learn
show,
from you.
Nora.
Another show.
Really?
That's gonna be
Sure.
another.
We're gonna come
show.
up
Talk
with.
about myself.
We'll change your name.
Okay.
We'll voice
like
this guy,
that,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can wear wigs. You can just wear a wig.
We'll
Behind
switch
the
seats,
mask.
so it'll be like,
Yeah, we'll
Oh, that's
switch.
good. That's good. I'll
There
do
we
that.
go.
Yeah, I'll sit
Oh,
over
boy.
here.
You girls are funny today.
I know. It must be. Is it? I don't know what it is.
Full moon this week.
oh my God, it's been
it.
horrible.
That's it.
I
was
have
the
realized
full
I don't
Yeah.
sleep during a full moon either.
Time
I have
change.
the worst sleep patterns when there's a full
Time
moon.
change. Full moon on Friday. Friday the 13th.
yes.
too.
Friday is the 13th.
Just
It
a
is?
whole
Yeah.
kind
A
of
whole
week.
mess of things this week.
Stay
Yep.
inside. Don't go anywhere. Don't.
Wash your
See, I've been
hands.
trying to tell you guys
Take
this for years.
showers.
You're finally just listening. Stay inside. Don't go anywhere. Don't talk to anybody.
Well, you know,
Rocky.
I'm always working on Friday the 13th, and I never even think about it until somebody says
Friday
something.
the 13th doesn't
But-
bother me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
Like
doesn't
that
bother
to me.
me
doesn't-
It doesn't bother me at
the
all.
full moon is what throws me off.
Friday the
I feel
13th
like.
and a full moon.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it'll be like
That's
the pinnacle
kind
of
of scary.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll report back next week.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
Is there a full moon or not? Or does it affect you or not?
Well,
Well,
yeah,
we had
we
this
already
conversation.
We had
said
this
yes.
conversation.
But they said that there is no real
give a
scientific.
shit
Well,
what
there-
they
Because
say.
we don't care
They
what
also
who
said
is
the coronavirus isn't something we
right,
should worry about.
Right. yeah.
I'm worried. So
Wash your hands.
And I always wonder who they is. Who's
Yeah.
they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The man.
It wasn't Johnny Appleseed.
No. He was doing something nice.
He
But
was. He was.
anyway, anything else?
Anywho.
Because we should
move on.
We
to
should
our
get
guest.
You
ready.
had something else, I think, too. You wanted to bring up and cause a little ruckus.
Well,
with our friend here.
with our friend. Settle down. No, but I just wanted to. I wanted to remind you that many shows ago we talked about B. Smith.
Oh, you're gonna start this whole fight up again.
I'm not
Nora
going to
and
start
I.
any fight, but I just wondered. Unfortunately, sad news. She did pass. She did pass, and we send our condolences out to the family and friends. However, as we know, if we remember correctly, her husband brought in a caregiver who also turned out to be a girlfriend. So my question is, what do you think will happen? Do you
They're
think
gonna get married.
Do you think they will?
I
Yeah.
definitely think they will.
Yep.
He was waiting till the
Yep.
right time, which is after she passed. He fulfilled his promise until death do us part, and now they're gonna get married. Good for them. I hope
I'm
they're
still
happy.
with like who in their mind says, "Oh, I'll take care of that." Like I still don't understand that. That's still the
Yeah,
question.
your,
like-
yours is like a whole different story. Yours is all about holding up the traditional values of marriage. Yours is about what crazy ass girlfriend
do that.
would take
And
that
mine's
on.
YOLO. Do what you gotta do.
Yours
Like-
is a whole yeah.
But in his defense, when he was saying, you know, they talked about all of that.
oh, I'm not.
When she got diagnosed and everything, they talked about all of that. and,
Right.
you know,
No,
so
no,
we
no.
don't know what they
I'm
had
no,
to
no,
do.
no. I'm not questioning his choice. Not at
Not-
all.
Oh, I
No,
know.
not him.
I know.
Not him.
He's the
I-
smart one.
He's the smart one. I
Yeah.
think that was brilliant. I question her.
Now
Yeah.
he dumps her.
But
Well,
see,
how
that
do you
would
know
be-
that that doesn't?
But you
though?
know what?
That would be
in
How do you know that
society,
that
in
doesn't?
society, that's what we do. We always question. You know, it's always more scrutiny on the woman.
But
to me.
Which I don't think is fair.
It's not fair,
wait a
but
minute,
it always is.
She is the one that moved in
Right.
to take care
Right.
of his wife.
Right, but that's
What
just
part of him makes
right.
that dumb?
And
he
that's
was
just
smart.
like that's
Well,
just
I
like
don't-
even if she wasn't sick and he was having an affair, you know. So
Well, that's
just,
different.
That's
but
totally different.
But still,
And here's the thing too: it's not
You
just
would
that
always
she was
say the
sick,
woman.
It's that she had Alzheimer's
Right.
and dementia.
Yeah.
She had no recollection
mental
of anything.
recollection.
That's a
Die
completely different thing to
sooner
me.
than
It's not
later.
like she
Yeah.
had a terminal illness where
Right.
she was completely mentally intact and could
Mm-hmm. Right.
communicate. 'Cause
I
that's
know what
effed
you're
up to me.
saying.
But
Yeah,
the
that's
fact that
different.
she had
I
no
agree.
recollection, and we've witnessed it firsthand with our aunt.
Yeah.
They go back
I
to a
have too.
childlike
It's-
state, so
yeah.
that's so hard.
Yeah.
on
I-
somebody.
But like I said,
agree.
we don't know what they talked about. 'Cause
Yeah.
when she was
Mm-hmm.
diagnosed, they had time to put all of that. They knew that she knew that he was going to write a book and all, you know, about
Yeah.
her experience and all of that. So,
But my question is,
what crazy woman? Okay, we
says-
know.
yeah, that's
Well,
what I still
wasn't she a widow? Like her husband passed.
Yeah.
Isn't that how they kind of
I think-
bonded? So
I think so. I
Yep.
think that's
it
how
probably
happened.
gave her a sense of purpose to be taking care of somebody, and,
that-
you know
yeah,
what I
that
mean.
could
Who
be
knows? I don't
relevant.
think she had kids, right? She doesn't.
Well,
I
her,
don't
know.
her
I don't
they
know. She's
bonded
in her
because her
50s.
dad was in the same situation.
Oh, it was her
and
dad.
yeah.
Okay.
Her dad? Okay.
I thought it was. I thought she was a
Yeah,
widow.
and she had to go
think
to Germany.
She's
to
in
take
her
care of him.
50s, and I think he is in his
70s or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
There's an age difference too. So let's get that prenup.
Well,
going.
that's all right.
Not after that. If
Whatever.
he's taking care of her, you give her half of everything. Okay, I don't care.
not in California.
Is that California? Is that where they're from?
I think so.
Oh.
I don't really know. Speculation.
That's all right. Whatever. Their business.
to each their
right?
own. No,
exactly.
yeah. Hey, you know what?
It's just
Not
fun.
not judging, just bringing
Right.
it up in conversation. And remember to wash your hands.
Yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
I know.
That's right.
All right.
Wash your
All
freaking
right, guys,
hands.
let's get ready.
Yeah, we have a
ready
very
to
exciting.
rock.
We do.
And I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
And we hope you get inspired to take a leap of faith. Don't forget to subscribe to The Nooner Show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at The Nooner Show. Our show today is sponsored by The Parlor in Hadley, Michigan, a music-themed pizzeria where pizza rocks. Also, check out Happy Days Records and More, a new music/clothing store, and so much more located at 1801 West Genesee Street in Lapeer, Michigan. And from the makers of Dope Water, if you can be anything, why not be dope?
Why not? This segment is designed to showcase the stories of talented individuals who had a wish and found a way to make it happen. They set goals, overcame obstacles, and turned setbacks into comebacks. Their stories are unique, and most of all, inspiring.
And we have a unique and inspiring guest today. Very excited. Ready? Ring.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Taylor McGuffey. She is our guest. She's a graduate from MSU.
Yep, go green.
Go White. She obtained a secure, high-paying job in the corporate world.
Yep, I worked at Dart Container, and then I worked at Two Men in a Truck for a few years. Both were incredible jobs, and
And then she had a wish, a dream, a hope, and she took a
And
leap
she
of faith.
found a way to make it happen.
and found a way to make it happen.
or just went crazy.
But you were bold and brave, and you walked away from it all.
I did.
Welcome to the show today.
Thank you
We
so
are
much. I
so
appreciate
excited
it. Excited
to
to be
hear
here.
your story about started with a side hustle.
Yeah, it really did. And I feel like it even started way before
Yeah.
then. I mean, it really has been.
Let's get to that because there is a little history here.
Yeah,
just
there is.
between Rocky and Taylor.
Yes.
They were very good friends in high school.
Yes.
And they were both cheerleaders.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
So-
quite say we were both cheerleaders. I was like the bench
was a
warmer.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I
have
was
to.
bow.
I did. I
And
wore
it's
the
the
bow
first
today.
time I've seen you wear a bow.
I wear bows when Juju comes over once in a while. And she forces
In
me to
honor
match her,
of
but
cheerleading,
I
she
did.
wore her
I
bow.
did. I tried to find
Yeah.
a cheerleading sweatshirt. I couldn't
Let's put it
find
this
one,
way.
but
Taylor was a very serious cheerleader.
successful cheerleader.
Rocky was just
The water
there.
boy.
The water girl.
Wait,
All right.
let's start with the fact that I never got to be a cheerleader because I tried out and got cut.
Ooh. Yeah,
I
been
got
there.
cut a couple times.
Yeah,
We're-
and that devastated me, so I never went back and tried again.
Yeah, but we'll have to hear that later because I
Yeah.
know you ended up coaching those.
I
so
did.
that's interesting.
Go.
Anybody can if you watch a video.
But anyway,
no, there's
Taylor,
way
let's-
more to it than that. I'm being funny.
So let's go back because
Yeah.
from day one that I met you, you
Yep.
were always in cheerleading.
Yep. Fifth grade is when that really that passion kind of started igniting, and it wasn't until I got into high school that I was actually doing competitive cheerleading, and that was, I think, a really pivotal moment because my freshman year of high school is when I actually had a coach kind of believe in me, and if you remember starting, I was not good. I was actually a pretty terrible cheerleader.
I don't remember that at all.
It was a real thing. It was a real thing. And I had my coach at the time, Miss Randy Griesmer. She actually was the varsity cheerleading coach in Lapeer. And she said, hey, you know, I can really tell that you have a lot of passion, a lot of love for this, and that you're going to work really hard. And it was really her kind of believing in me that really kind of kick-started my love for cheerleading in the competitive world. And so that was kind of a really cool experience that I still to this day, you know, anytime I see her come across Facebook, I always have to thank her because
Does
really
she
does come
see
back.
what you're doing?
Yeah, yep, she does
Wow.
now. And so I think that's a really cool piece of everything. And then going to, you know, finishing out high school cheerleading and going to MSU, having that dream of being on MSU's cheer team and not making it, that we kind of talked about. You said how people have those setbacks and you think that your life's going to go one way. And I thought for sure I was going to go to MSU. I was going to be on the cheer team. This is how life was going to work. And to get that rejection kind of stops you in your tracks and you kind of rethink everything and you're like, wait, now what? But it actually was that rejection that led me into going into Wildcats Cheer Pride for the first time and being there around cheerleading just in a different capacity and really led me to my next steps of this journey.
I love this part. I love this because let's go back to getting rejected there because it's at that point that a lot of people completely stop what they think their dream is and they justify it and say this isn't for me, I'm not cut out for this, forget about it, and they do. So how did you get from that to this other team? Like you got rejected, what, like how long did it take and how did you hear about the other team? Who got you into it?
Yeah, so honestly, it was one of those things where when I went to MSU, I immediately needed to work on creating a video. You have to do a video tryout. And so I was working on that and had come across people through that and was working on taking the videos and working on my skills and conditioning and doing those things in this gym. And really, that was just a Google search, you know, just where can I do that in this area? And then going into the gym, I kind of felt like I had a place to still be able to work, you know, on my skills and with my passion. And when it didn't work out with making the MSU cheerleading team, you know, I was like, well, I don't have to give up. Like, even if I'm not cheering on a team, I can still work on my skills and still be enjoying it and be around other people that enjoy it. So that was really it. I mean, there wasn't any big, like, oh, you should come try, you know, come join this team. There wasn't an opportunity for me to be on a team at the gym at that point. But just going in there and being around, you know, kids that were doing the same thing that I love too. And then it was actually pretty funny. Every time I ended up going into the gym to work on my own skills, I never did. I just worked with the kids. The kids were there, and I loved how much love and excitement and passion they had for cheerleading already at their young ages. And so I usually just found some kid that would listen to me, and I could boss him around and teach him how to do things. And really from there, the people who worked there were like, hey, do you want a job? You're already working, clearly. And so I started working there and haven't left since.
So think about it. Had you made the team at MSU,
that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened. No.
Wow. Okay, so you got a job, and in the meantime, you're still in school.
Yep.
So take us through that journey. You you get through college,
Yep.
and what happens? You're still part of this
Yep.
team.
So still had been coaching. It's actually really funny. I feel like everybody who kind of knew me growing up thought as soon as I graduated that I would like move across the country and live some lavish lifestyle and work in some big corporation. Like that's what I was going to do. And everybody kind of expected that. And then when I said, well, I have the gym. I can't just leave the gym. They're like, you're going to stay in Lansing, Michigan? I sure am. So it was definitely kind of a path that I guess I didn't expect. But I just couldn't imagine leaving at any point from those kids and the people that I've built relationships with, and then just the gym as a whole, I think.
So that
awesome.
side hustle, because at that time that's what it was.
It really was, yeah.
That's what kept you in Lansing, huh, after you graduated.
Yep. And then so I got a job. I thought, I could just work a full-time job, keep coaching on the side. We started growing and bigger, and I was working like 60 hours a week for like 10 years.
Wow.
It definitely got to a point where I was like, something's got to
And
change.
how old were you at that time?
I graduated in 2014, and I don't know, math. I was like 21-ish.
Wow.
And so then it was actually in 2017 that the previous owners were deciding that they were going to be done with the gym, and then that's where that opportunity kind of showed itself.
Yeah.
And 24 years old, I was like, sure, I can do this.
So exactly, you were coaching. That's what you
I
were.
was coaching,
Were you
yeah.
involved at all on the behind the business part of it, like actually, numbers and?
Yeah. So the only real business side of the company that I was involved in at that time was marketing. Obviously, that was a big piece of my experience in the corporate world, and then in my college education. So marketing and social media were kind of my strong suits and things that I helped them do already. But really, when it came to anything to do with running the business, the books, any of that, no idea at all. All I knew is that we were losing money, so it was definitely even more so a risk when they're like, do you want this? I'm like, no. Obviously, that wasn't the case, but
What changed your mind?
Yeah.
so this is probably my favorite part of my own whole life story. Is actually, so we had, I guess I have to kind of preface it with all the coaches that were there at the time of the previous owners deciding that they were going to be moving on. We're all very early 20s. We had no business running anything. And there was one coach who is Kyla that I own the gym with now. She's older. She has run a program before. She's married, has kids, has a house. Her life is in a more established area. And so, of course, they asked her first, is this something that you'd be willing to do? And then because she knew that she wasn't crazy enough to do it alone, she found the second crazy person that might. And so we actually went to dinner one night, and I swear I will remember this day for the rest of my life. We went to dinner. And we're sitting there and we're kind of going through, the pros and the cons. Should we do this? Should we not do this? Can we do this? Is this absolutely insane? Why would you take a business who is losing money and try to go into it knowing you have no money and try to turn it around? And really, we were sitting there and I kind of looked at her and I was like, all right, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. We're going to close the gym. We're going to close the gym. We're going to go in next week and we're going to tell the kids that this is their last season, that we're just not able to do this. Financially, it doesn't make sense for us, and then this will be the end of Wildcats. And I swear in that moment, we both started crying in the middle of the restaurant.
Wow.
And we're like, we can't. We can't. I could not go in and tell those kids that their gym was closing, at least without a fight. And so we said that we were willing to give it a go, even if it was just for 1 year, just knowing that we put the effort in to try to make it continue was what we needed to feel good about the decision. So until we gave it a try, there was no way that we were going to let it go. So we said, okay, I guess we're signing papers. We're taking
that's
over.
amazing.
So how long after that dinner? Was it?
Honestly, it was like 2 days later that
Oh
we
my
were
God.
we were signing
For
papers.
sure you were
Oh,
gonna say
no.
like 2 months.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it was so
That-
fast.
How, how much did because that's giving up a lot when
Yeah.
when
Because
you're
you were
taking
working,
over.
you were working
Right.
full time.
Yeah,
I was working,
You had
and
a
so
good
I
job.
continued. Yep, I continued working. And Kyla also works full time, and so we were both just gonna do this and do our best with working full time during the day and having the gym be open and running at night, and then somehow in our quote unquote free time, we were gonna actually run the business on the back end too. Wishful thinking. So this was in about May or June of 2017. So obviously for the next, almost 3 years, that's what we did, both working full time and running the gym and coaching teams. And
Wow.
so we had a lot on our plate for sure. And it was tough. It definitely, like I said, I swear it was 10 years of working 60, 70 hours a week. And, we got to a point, it was actually this season. So our seasons run from like June to May. So this season in June, we actually doubled in size. So
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
There's a bell ring.
we kind of looked at each other and we're like, what are we going to do with this? Are we going to let this, growth stop, or are we going to really capitalize on this and really go for it? So, I looked at her and I said, hey, my life is in a position right now where it's just me. It's me and my cat in my little apartment. Like, I can go for this. The worst case scenario is that I have to get another job. I have a degree. I have experience. Like, there's McDonald's across the street.
Yeah.
I can always get a job and pay my bills. And, not having a family and a house and things
Right.
like that really just put me in a position to say, why not? So in December is when I actually quit my job. I tried to go part-time for a little while, and that was great. And, I will forever be grateful to Two Men in a Truck for giving me the opportunity to work in that capacity and try to make it work. And honestly, the business knowledge that I received from working there is unparalleled, and has helped me so much. But part-time wasn't going to work either. I really needed to go all in and go for it. So December is when I completely quit.
So this just
It
happened.
really did.
December
That's
19th.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what was the what did you learn from your full-time job as far as the business in general?
yeah, honestly, I just feel like great business practices. I mean, everything from just customer service and working with people and learning from mistakes and just so many different pieces of those things where until you really go through it, you don't know it. And I think that there's a million different things you can learn from a book and in
Yeah.
school, and until you really get the experience, it's just not the same.
Real life
So-
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how your partner, was she in business at all? Is that her background? or-
So she is an X-ray tech at the hospital. But prior to that, she ran a daycare. So she did have some basic small business knowledge. And she actually did run another competitive cheerleading program for a short time in Lansing.
wow.
So she had tons of years of cheerleading experience, some business experience, and
little bit
now
of-
has
yeah.
a secure job that she'd like to keep. So,
How long has the team been around?
so our gym opened in 2010. So it's been 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 years that the whole program has been around.
And when did you go to start at the gym?
So the second year.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I was
you were really there
from
from the beginning.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. So you have seen it. Oh, sorry.
I have seen it all. I really
Yeah.
have. We started, I think when I was there, we started with 20, really the first year they started with 7 kids. But by
Wow.
time I was there was about 20 some kids that were on teams. And then we worked with, different schools and different programs and stuff. And now looking ahead today, we have over 160 team
Wow.
athletes.
Wow.
We work with 5 different high schools. We train well over 400 kids a week. So
That's
it's,
amazing.
it's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
We have 14 teams.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's a lot
There's
going
no way
on.
you could work full time.
Yeah, well, I tried.
Yeah,
So explain
that's
a little
crazy.
bit though the difference between high school cheerleading and what you guys do at your gym.
Yeah, so it gets a little bit tricky. The MHSAA, Michigan High School Athletic Association, has a lot of rules, and one of their big things is that you can't be an all-star athlete. And all-star, they define it as a bunch of things that aren't really a thing anymore. It's just kind of an outdated definition. And so we are, in the rest of the United States, we're an all-star gym. But we unfortunately can't use the term all-star in our program because of the High School Athletic Association rules. It actually makes our athletes unable to be on a volleyball team with their high school, a basketball team, just because basically they take all-star as you're a, I don't know, semi-professional kind of athlete. So it's some sort of unfair advantage. But anyways, most of we don't operate underneath that definition at all. So most of our kids don't have any issue with that. And a lot of the athletic directors across the state are realizing that. So there's a lot of quote-unquote all-star gyms in Michigan that we have been able to kind of get around that. But really, so if you're familiar at all with any kind of club team, any kind of travel team, we have kids from all over the state that come to our gym, train a few times a week, and we make teams out of those kids based on their age and their skill level. And then we travel to competitions. So we compete sometimes in Michigan. We've gone to Chicago and Indianapolis and Columbus. And every year we go down to Disney World. So definitely get to do a lot of traveling. And that's where the big, difference is. It definitely is a higher caliber of training. And, the kids get such a great opportunity because they get to meet so many new people that they wouldn't otherwise get to meet. They only know the people in their school. Where in this environment, they get to meet kids from all around, the greater Lansing area. We have kids coming from over 2 hours away to come train with us. So.
Wow, that is awesome.
That really is.
And so with the kids, like how young, like what's the age
bracket? Our youngest team that we have that actually goes to competitions, they're 3 years old.
Oh my gosh. They go to competitions?
Yes.
Cutest thing I've
and
ever
they
heard.
are
really
absolutely the cutest thing in the world.
Oh, that would be fun
There
to
are
watch.
kitty cats. That's their
Cute. I saw on your website you call them the Tiny Novice Team.
Yes, the tiny novice.
The tiny novice.
So basically, there's these different tiers of cheerleading, and novice really is. They don't go against people. They just kind of get a ranking that they can work on getting higher and higher, and it is for just those babies. That
So it's like
wanna
the cute
go.
little
Yep.
dance team.
Yep, they just go out there and do their best and have coaches sitting all along the edges, kind of shuffling them around, making sure they're not running off the stage. It's really cute. So they do start really, really young. And then we go all the way up. You're allowed to have open teams. We could still cheer if you really wanted
I'm
to.
thinking about cheating. As long as I don't have to do any, like I could just do like a somersault. That's it.
But
You
our
just want to wear
highest-
that bow.
Exactly.
Rocking this bow right now.
We got some cute bows now too, girls. So our highest level team, we actually this year for the very first time do have a level 6 senior worlds team, and that is the highest thing you can do. It's the pinnacle of cheerleading, and to be able to go to worlds really is the equivalent of going to the Olympics in cheerleading.
Wow. Really?
Yep. So we got a bid this year for the very first time ever, and we're going to be headed to Disney. We're
awesome.
excited.
Wow.
Now, do you have many of like little tiny novices and they just keep going? Have you
Yeah.
watched some of them go up?
Oh yeah, we for sure have. One of the girls on our worlds team, so that highest level right now, actually was on our youth team. So it goes like tiny novice, tiny mini youth. So she did start at that age. It just was with a different program before we existed. So she started that young, and now it's her senior year this year.
Wow.
And
How
she's
exciting.
finishing it off with a bang, going to the biggest competition in the world. So we're
Wow.
excited.
Wow.
What's the biggest misconception about cheerleading?
Oh my gosh, the biggest misconception for sure is that it's like dance moms, and I mean that these kids are getting forced to do it, and that it's not a sport, and there's just so much of it that that
It
really
always yanks my chain when people say it's not a sport
I
because
know.
I was like, listen, I may have been a water boy. Those girls that were on the mat were working their asses off. I couldn't do it. It's a sport. So
It's true. Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions, and unfortunately, with all-star cheerleading, I mean, there's so much glitz and glam, and kids are, wearing makeup and have their hair teased to the heavens. And,
Oh, wow.
I mean, it does look like a pageant from the outside perspective, and I mean, there's such a performance aspect of what we do that it's just part of it. I mean, it's the same thing as singing.
Yeah.
There's a performance aspect of
Yeah.
that.
My granddaughter was in one. Just recent. I'm trying to think where it was. I can't remember. But anyway, it was just to see all of the girls and stuff, and she had her little makeup on.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God. And then just leaving and walking out and looking at all the girls and stuff. Oh, it was they weren't playing. They were serious.
It's true.
Now, your gym, is it female only?
It is not. We are. We do have a lot of co-ed teams, actually. I think this year we're up to, it's definitely heavily favored towards the girls, but we have probably 12 to 15 boys on our teams, and then more so in classes and stuff too. So, yeah, it's definitely growing. It's one of those things where a lot of times we'll get boys who come, their sisters are doing it, and they're like, well, I want to do a backflip and throw girls up. So, they try it, and they're like, wow, this is actually really fun. And I think most of our boys right now, we're all like football players at one point, and then they come and they're like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
So they stay because they think it's athletic
It's
and
a good
challenging.
workout. Yeah.
What is your overall mission with the team? I'm not familiar with the show Cheer. I'm sure you are.
Yes.
But I did hear about it,
Yep.
so I started researching it. I didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
it's really interesting how much they do for the kids, like changing their self-esteem, their confidence, and it's not about cheerleading.
It really isn't. Yeah, I think that I know that cheerleading for me, I know how much confidence it gave me. I know how many different, things I had to overcome through cheerleading. And just more than anything, I wish that so many more people could find something that they are genuinely passionate about in life that really, truly just makes them feel alive in this lifetime. And so to be able to share that with kids, whether or not cheerleading becomes their passion or not, I think is so powerful, just because these kids see all of us each and every day, putting our heart and souls into this program. And I think it teaches them that, they can be passionate about something, and they can really work hard, and they can, that they're stronger than they ever thought that they were. And I just think that there's so many different life lessons that the kids are able to learn through this sport and any sport, that I'm just happy to be able to offer that. And I really think that it comes down to our mission, just wanting to be able to provide a place for kids to be able to learn and grow and maybe have a better environment that they might not otherwise be able to have at home. So
what's
That's
the
great.
culture like of your gym and the cheerleading? Because like you said, a lot of people think it's like dance moms, and I don't know many cheerleaders, but I know a lot of dancers.
Yeah.
And like it's strange, but for the last couple years at the pizzeria, we've had almost every single one of our girls has been dancers, and they come in and tell us the horror stories, and I'm like, oh my god,
there's always going to be
yeah,
that.
just the things that they've had to deal with even within their gyms. And it always baffled me. I'm like, there's a whole slew of young girls, and you have the opportunity as a coach to mold positivity and women appreciation and that. And what is the cheer culture like? Because you said it's not like Dance Moms.
Yeah, I would say one of the coolest things that we kind of see when we go to competitions that makes us just look at each other and say, wow, I just love this sport, is every single competition you can walk around whether it's through the venue hallways or in the warm-up room or backstage, and you hear nothing but, hey, good luck, I hope your team does great. Like, everybody is so supportive of everyone else, because what's so unique about this sport is that it's not, it's so much more you against yourself. Like, yes, you get ranked among other teams, but because you get 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go out there and do your routine one time, you don't get a redo, you don't get to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, everybody feels that pressure so much that every team is rooting for every team, because it doesn't feel that great to win when everybody else that you're competing against doesn't do their best.
Yeah.
So, like, you want everyone to do their absolute best so that when you beat them, you actually beat them.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Sounds
awesome.
good to me.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
it's so fun, and I think it's so cool to hear the kids do it.
Yeah.
You know, without even being asked. They're like, "Can we go cheer on that team? Can we make a tunnel for them?" Like,
Yeah.
they just want to be there for those
Yeah.
other kids so much, and
But
it's
that's
so
got to
cool
come
to see.
from you guys, though.
Yeah,
That's got to come
I was
from
gonna
the
say
top,
the
because
training.
If you guys were, take down that team, get her by the knee.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the Italians would do. I don't know. I don't know any Italians in this room that would do that, but you know what I mean? Like, if it was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That comes from you guys. So that's really pretty
I
cool.
appreciate
Yeah,
that. We
that is really
definitely,
cool.
we definitely have the competitive. I'm
Well,
like, take them down, but make sure they do good first.
Make it worth your while.
There's
Yeah,
a difference,
exactly.
though. It's not a catty competitive. It's a
Right.
healthy
For sure.
competitive.
Right.
Yeah, that's
For
very
sure.
cool.
How do you handle it when they mess up?
Oh, this is a sensitive subject at the moment. I actually have a team right now who I have dubbed the name Practice Champions, and I think we've all heard of that being a thing before. In practice, they are incredible. They look so good. They're very, very young for their age and their team. And then they go out on competition, and sometimes they nail it, and sometimes they crack under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's really hard as a coach when you feel like you're preparing them the best you can, and then they go out there and then they don't do well.
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, in this whole sport, the worst that I feel is when the kids are not proud of themselves. Like, even if they make mistakes, I would way rather them run off the floor and be like, oh my gosh, we just fought for that so hard. I'm still so proud. And that just doesn't happen because they're such perfectionists and they want it so bad and they work so hard. So when we have teams that go out there and don't do their best and do fail, it is something that I try to work really hard to let the kids realize that it's okay to fail, because I think that we live in such a society right now that tells kids it's not okay to
Right.
fail. It's not okay to
Right.
make mistakes. So it really is, we always have the conversations of, yep, this happened. There's nothing we can do about it right now. Wipe those tears off your face and get back in the gym and work harder. And that really is, I probably have said that message 100 million times. I'm like, can you do anything about it right now? No?
No.
Cool. See you at practice. And that really is the best that you can do, I think,
Yeah.
as a coach, is just to
That's
say,
great.
work harder.
Right. That's great.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm thinking about some of the
Thinking about cheering?
parents that used to come in to
Yeah.
the pizzeria that were like baseball
Yeah.
coaches or
Football
football
parents and- yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
if the kid didn't do good,
Yeah.
You knew it, didn't
Sports
you? As soon
parents
as they
are
walked
crazy,
in.
man.
Yeah.
They are in
I
every
mean,
sport.
yeah. I think there is a difficult balance between being competitive and pushing your child to win,
Yeah.
or pushing yourself to win, and also understanding that failure is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just gonna push you. That could be the fuel
Right.
for your
Absolutely.
next competition.
Well, and that really has been this team that I said is our practice champions right now. That's been such a hard thing for me as a coach this year, because I am probably the most competitive person maybe on the whole face of the earth. I feel like I'm the person who, like, if we're walking to the car, I'm like, I'll race you. Like, I have to win at everything.
Yep.
So this team is not winning. And for me to have, one, come to accept it, and two, help them set different goals so that they are achieving goals, even if first place doesn't happen to be one of them, has been really hard, but at the same time really rewarding, and I think beneficial to me just as a human, to realize that there are ways to take steps and to set small goals to be able to eventually reach those big goals. These kids are going to be champions. It might just not be this year.
Yeah.
It might be next year. It might be 2 years from now. And
where did you get your competitive spirit? How did you become a person that
I think
wants
I came
to
out
win
of the
at
womb
everything?
this way.
Is your mom listening?
Yeah, I guarantee that she is.
Good job, Kelly.
I feel like my mom's not super competitive. I don't know. I have no idea. It has just been something that for my whole life, like if we're playing a game, I'm winning it. Like I don't know. I think it's just ingrained in me.
How do you teach that?
I wish that I could, and I don't think you can.
Okay.
I think that if my mom is listening, she'll laugh when I say this. My entire life, I would struggle being on teams with people because I would say, oh, I just wish they cared as much as I did. And I think it's the same thing in a work environment or anything. If you are passionate, you're like, I just wish they would care as much as I did. And you can't teach that. I think it comes with it comes with passion. It comes with, knowledge. And I just think that the best that I can do as a coach is to continue to get the kids to realize their potential, and either they're going to pursue that or they won't. And I just kind of do my best to focus on the kids who do want that, because I'm not going to force a kid who isn't competitive to be competitive.
Right. Well, and how do you handle parents, like kids that maybe come from an environment where there's no support, or parents that don't believe in them, or how do you handle that?
We run into all sorts of different, different styles of parenting, and I think that more than anything, I know that I was always supported as an athlete and as a person growing up. So it's hard for me to kind of relate to it, but I understand it. And I think that the best that we can do as coaches and mentors of these young kids is just give them somebody to believe in them. And I think that they realize that when we are putting them on teams and working with them day in and day out and asking them how, things are going at home. And we really do our best to, try to build those relationships so that they do have the opportunity, to come to us when things aren't great at home. And, I have felt very fortunate to be in situations like that where I'll have kids come to me and say, I'm having issues at home, or, I'm upset about things, or I'm really struggling in school. And for them to have that kind of trust to be able to come and ask for help, I think is great. So.
Right.
That is
wow.
awesome.
Now, I know you guys have won quite a few.
Some big ones lately, too.
Yeah, congratulations.
I love winning.
I know. I have to tell you, Olivia wanted me to pass along a message that apparently somebody she works with at the hospital, I can't remember how they got on the subject of cheer, and this lady has a daughter who competed, I guess, against you guys.
Okay.
And are you guys going to Florida or something?
We are.
Yeah, and her team's competing against you guys, and apparently your team kicks their butt all the time. Olivia told me that.
Sounds like she needs to switch teams. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I'm like, team placements are May 26th, 27th, 28th. No.
Well, we don't have that much more time, but what's the big goal for you? So you took a big leap.
I
and
did.
Now, your partner in what's becoming very successful.
Yeah.
What's the big picture? What do you see down the road?
So this is the most fun question for me because I was never one of those people who grew up saying, I want to own a business. I want to own a cheer gym. And so I feel like every year as small goals are reached, I'm like, ooh, what's the next big thing? What's the next big thing? And so I think that my big goal right now is going to change in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. And really right now, I think that Kyla and I both look at this gym and we see so much potential in it, and we see how many cheerleaders are in the Lansing area that aren't on our teams yet, and we say we want to be the one and only. We want to be, if you want to be a cheerleader in this area, this is the place that you go. And I just think that would be the coolest. Like I have big dreams. I want to be able to build our own building. I want to really, really make this thing something
Wow.
that people know Michigan for, not just the Lansing area.
Great. And then you'll have
a
your
Netflix
own
special.
Netflix. We'll say we interviewed her first.
Yeah.
We'll have to have Kayla. Is it Kayla?
Kyla.
Kyla.
We'll have to have her on as well.
Yes.
Then.
Yeah.
See how
Oh,
this.
she loves to hear herself talk too. So
We'll bring
it's
you
a
back.
cool story, though.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
It is,
Amazing
and,
story.
and I think it's really neat how it's changing too. You know,
Yeah.
the just especially because of that
Yeah.
cheer show.
Yes.
To what I think that's pretty cool what they're doing and
Yeah.
how it's changing lives of these kids.
It really is, and I think it's really cool to see people starting to recognize that
Yeah.
and to respect it.
yeah.
Before we go, we want to remind our listeners and viewers that they can check out your website at wildcatcheer.com.
Yeah.
And anybody who's interested, they can email you with questions at wildcatcheer@gmail.
Yes, Wildcats. It's actually with an S.
Wildcats.
Cheer.
Wildcats
and our
Cheer.
email, wildcatscheer1@gmail.com because we want to be number one.
Perfect. Well, congratulations.
Put it out in the
on
universe.
that.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's
So
real.
other social media sites?
Yes, we're on
Instagram?
Facebook. We're on Instagram. Yes, definitely check us out. Wildcats Cheer
What's
Pride.
the Instagram?
Wildcats Cheer.
Okay.
Wildcats Cheer Pride. One of those you'll find it. It's orange and
You'll find
black.
it.
Everything.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Great.
Fortune cookie time,
Yes,
Rob.
it
Yes.
is. All right, so we toss our cookies, and whatever way the prongs face, that means that fortune was meant for you. So I will do the honors. I'm gonna toss all the cookies.
Toss the cookie.
Oh, that one right. Yeah, that
This
one.
one's
Yeah.
for
That's
me.
yours, Jackie.
Tossing you a cookie. Oh, no cookies.
No cookies. All right. We got.
All right,
All
so
right,
we're gonna end
quick-
it with. We always end it with
Wildcats cheer.
Wildcats cheer. Yep.
Wildcats cheer.
Here we
Is that
go.
what we're ending it?
Yes.
Yep.
The weekend ahead predicts enjoyment with Wildcats cheer.
Ooh.
The weekend.
We compete this weekend, so that's great.
Where are you competing?
We're actually competing at Eastern Michigan University.
Oh, okay,
Yep, right in
great.
Ypsilanti.
Very good.
I have you will travel far and wide for both pleasure and business with Wildcats
Really?
Cheer.
That's where my granddaughter was at Ypsilanti.
Oh,
She
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, mine says you won't be bored for long. New adventures are on their way with Wildcats cheer.
You are going to wear that bow some more.
I am gonna wear the bow some more.
A lifetime of happiness lies ahead of you with Wildcats cheer.
Love it.
Your present plans are going to succeed with Wildcats cheer.
Start cheering.
Yes,
Love
there
it.
you go.
All right, Taylor, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really
for
appreciate
being
it.
here.
Thank
We're
you
going to
for
have to catch
joining
one
us.
of these competitions.
Yes.
You know, I
But-
always enjoyed it.
She loved watching me. She laughed and laughed and laughed.
It was a different reason. Yeah. Yours was entertaining, but
It was
no.
entertaining for a different reason. 'cause I
Yeah.
look like
Well,
a
no,
damn
but
fool
Olivia
out
was
there.
pretty serious.
Yeah.
And
when
Olivia
she
was-
was
she's a
on
great
it, and
athlete,
it was fun watching when kids are really serious about it.
And
It's
you
just
made a great water
sport.
boy.
I was.
You
I was
did.
on
And
top of
honestly,
that.
looking back, I was terrible. If you see
I
these
don't
kids,
remember
I don't believe that
being
at
if
all.
you,
terrible at
I
all.
swear, if you see these kids, we have.
know what?
this-
Here's what
oh
I will
my
say
gosh,
too,
they're
though.
incredible.
I think. I mean, I don't because I only cheered varsity one year. I'm so sorry about that, by the way. And I just don't think the program where we were at that time
Yep.
was nurturing
Amazing.
to your
Yep.
skill set. I will just say it like that. So
That's
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? I just don't think that the program.
It's definitely crazy to think I never even realized that club cheerleading existed until I was already too old.
Yeah, that's. But I just, you know,
Yeah.
you were very talented. I just don't know that the organization
Well, thanks.
was up to par.
I
I'll say
think
that. Yeah.
one of the things too they have to say is you're where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
feel
think
that.
you're
Yeah.
offering kids a lot more than just like
cheering.
gymnastics
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and stuff
all
like
that,
that. I
yeah.
think it's all the mindset. You're a great role model.
And you're a
one of-
born leader. I
You
mean,
are.
like you're
You
you're
are.
meant to be on the top.
You're
Yeah.
and you're driven. I mean, the drive you have ever since I've known you is just it's like you've never
unparalleled,
slowed down. Yeah, you've never stopped.
Well, thank you
you're
so
just
much.
a great role model, and I think that's really why this all happened is because you're supposed to be doing that for kids. And one of the things that I saw, and I was going to copy it, was a Facebook post that you put up just describing how passionate, how much you loved it. And it was like, can you imagine if everybody just loved what they did the way you
and then
do?
took the leap to do what they love.
Exactly.
I really wish everyone would.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to live
It
any
would be
other way.
so happy around
Well,
here.
think about what you're developing. Who knows what
Yeah.
the future's going to be,
true.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Definitely appreciate
congratulations.
it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for
you so
joining
much.
us today.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to The Nooner Show. We appreciate your support, and we hope you get inspired to take a leap of faith. Don't forget to subscribe to The Nooner Show wherever you listen to podcasts. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at The Nooner Show. Our show today is sponsored by The Parlor in Hadley, Michigan, a music-themed pizzeria where pizza rocks. Also, check out Happy Days Records and More, a new music/clothing store, and so much more located at 1801 West Genesee Street in Lapeer, Michigan. And from the makers of Dope Water, if you can be anything, why not be dope?
Why not? And remember, sometimes the only mode of transportation available.
Is a leap of faith. Thanks for taking a leap of faith, and
Yay.
happy hump day.
Happy hump day.
Wash your
And,
hands.
Wash your hands.
You're going to be off next week.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Yes.
by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
My daughter's getting married.
Yes, congratulations. So you'll be off next week and
Yeah.
back the following week,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Until
Happy
next
Wednesday.
week. Happy Wednesday.
Happy
Wash your
Wednesday.
hands.
Wash your hands.
All right. And that's the wrap.
And we're out.